Wheaton Chambers. Number 15, Francisco Javier Saldana. Number 17, Hugo Bonilla. Number 23, Jaime Rabadan. And number 25, Jose Baldo Gomez. The Tigers are coached by Tony Odoricio. And now the starting lineup for your Wheaton College Thunder. In goal, wearing number 32, a junior from Kalamazoo, Michigan, Hasten Biddlecombe. Number 5, a sophomore from Bensenville, Illinois, Michael Martins. Number 9, a sophomore from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, Joey Sopikiotis. Number 11, a junior from Cornelius, North Carolina, A.J. Moyes. Number 14, a freshman from Highland Park, Illinois, Michael Groza. Number 15, a freshman from Magnolia, Texas, Dylan Etter. Number 18, a freshman from Wayne, Illinois, Alessandro D'Argento. Number 22, a senior from Hawthorne, New Jersey, Will Woodfin. Number 23, a junior from Burlington, Iowa, Justin Hill. Number 26, a junior from Portage, Michigan, Ryan Melgar. And number 29, a sophomore from Hamilton, New Zealand, Stafford Dowling. Wheaton is coached by Jake DeClute. At this time, we ask you please rise and gentlemen remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Joe Bean Stadium here on the campus of Wheaton College. You're watching the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. We're watching a face-off tonight between the Wheaton Thunder and the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers. Excuse me. You just heard the player introductions, and once again, we'll mention it. The Thunder coming into tonight's game 2-2. The Iowa Wesleyan Tigers coming into tonight's game 0-3. Justin, the Thunder dropped 2 away within this last week. Tonight, certainly looking to bounce back in this one.
Absolutely. With 2 hard losses against Ohio Wesleyan and Kenyon this past weekend, the Thunder are looking for a good turnaround. I think this is the perfect game. Back at home on their unbeaten streak here, it's a perfect opportunity to make a statement. Like we said, those losses were hard. 0-2 at Ohio Wesleyan and then 3-2 at Kenyon. I think personally, as somebody who watched both of those games this past weekend, there's just a lot that I want to see from the Thunder, and I think that, you know, the stat sheet shows it all. One of the reasons why I think they weren't as strong at Ohio Wesleyan is they didn't take their shots. They were outshot 20-8 with 2 late goals coming in. I think another thing that brings up another point for us too, which is just finishing the game out. I think the Kenyon game was a rough one. Kenyon's ranked 10th right now, I believe, in the standings for D3. And although we played a strong game, they just weren't able to finish it out after going from a 2-1 lead all the way down to a 3-2 loss there in overtime with 4 minutes left. I think there's just a lot of opportunity for growth, and it's early in the season. They're 2-2. This is a perfect opportunity to turn it around. I think we'll see that here tonight.
And as Justin mentioned, the Thunder coming off 2 losses. The Tigers coming off 3 straight, yet to get a win here in this season. They've been on the road for this will be their 4th game straight, so they haven't had a chance to play at home yet. But as we look to start things out, ball comes over to A.J. Moyes on the near sideline. It's a hot one in Joe Bean Stadium tonight. A little bit of an easterly wind trying to cut down some of that humidity, but certainly well above the 80s even after sunset here as Melgar goes back to Biddlecombe. Sends it over, and that one's out of play. Quick throw in here from the Tigers. We got a whistle here, and ball's going to go back to the Thunder, and they will throw in here and look to get something going.
I believe that was just a foot fault there on the line by the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers.
Nice move there by Martins as he streaks up the sideline. Tries to pass this one in the middle, but it's cut off. And a nice slide. Gets the ball in there. Justin Hill able to recover it. And it'll go back to Biddlecombe once again. Send this one towards the center circle. Cut away by an Iowa Wesleyan defender. Now it's DiArgento trying to send a through ball up ahead. Stafford Dowling inside the box. He fires off a shot. And that one's swallowed up by the goalkeeper, Hassis. The first shot of the game.
Like I was mentioning earlier, I think Wheaton needs to take their shots tonight after being outshot in that game against Ohio Wesleyan, coming back and actually getting the majority of shots and shots on frame in that Kenyon game. Easy shot there to Biddlecombe, and he handles that well. But as I was saying before, I think that all starts here in the middle. We have 3 freshmen playing in the middle. You have Dylan Edders there at the number 15, Michael Garoza, number 14, who just missed the ball there, and then number 18, DiArgento. I think it'll be vital for the ball to be played through them to see if we get any shots too. We also have Stafford Dowling there all the way on that left winger spot. So I'm interested to see how they link up tonight. I think if they can get the play in the middle down, if they could just, find their calm, then we'll see those shots. They just have to build it into that final third. We saw some good play in the first 2 games, Abram. Nice little move there out of the back by Justin Hill. But we saw some good play through the middle in the first 2 games. I just want to see that replicated in this one after these 2 losses.
The ball goes over to Martins on the far side. Up to Groza. Groza goes over to Dowling, who's got it now. Looks to bring it back in the middle, and he'll play through Martins. Martins over to Eder. He's got a lot of space in front of him. Eder will bring it over to the near side. That's A.J. Moyes. Moyes has Woodfin in front of him and Eder on his left. Take some time and go back to Melgar. And now Melgar passes up to Sapikiotis. A nice touch pass over to Moyes. Moyes will send a cross. Dowling with the header. Isn't quite able to send it in, and that'll go off the end line, but a nice play there.
Yeah, that was good link up by everybody on the Thunder team. We'll see the pass starts out of the back from Melgar. Good little one touch from Spikiotis out to the outside. And that's all the way from the right back position, Moyes, to play that cross in. Perfectly placed there for Dowling, just not able to redirect it past the senior goalkeeper.
First corner kick of the game will come here from Groza. Groza puts this one on the near post. That's batted away, and it'll be Hassis that goes up high to grab it.
A little bit of work there for Hassis here right off the bat.
He'll send this one into Thunder territory, and now ball up high. Will Woodfin able to win the 50-50 ball, and now Sapikiotis has it. Sent over to the other side of the field, and Dowling trying to work on it against a couple of defenders there. Dowling now under control. Goes back to Eder. Eder sends it through to the middle, but that one's kicked away. Pass into the middle will go back over to the near sideline. It'll be Rabadon with the ball. Woodfin does a nice job to poke that one away from Carlos Mateo Moreno. Ball comes back into Garcia. Garcia sends that one up high. Mateo Moreno tries to control that one. He goes down and brings Melgar along with him, so Moyes will be the one able to control. Tapped out of play there. It's just about 5 minutes gone from this one. 40 minutes and 36 seconds to go. Score still 0-0 here between the Thunder and the Tigers.
Both teams playing pretty aggressive here right out of the gate. I think that's something that they didn't see out of these first 2 games. They saw a little bit more from Kenyon and Ohio Wesleyan, but definitely taking it to him here in this first 5 minutes of the game. That can open up a lot of opportunities, by the way, Abram, for Wheaton. If they're able to pass through the middle quickly, which they've had the tendency to do, if they can work the ball fast, then it opens a little bit more opportunities than a team that just sits back in the defensive third there. So I'm thinking it will work well for Wheaton here if they can quickly string some passes up. I mean, we see Will Woodfin all the way on the outside here calling for the ball, and if they can get it to him there's an opportunity, but the pass is not hard enough.
Yep, cut off by Rabadon there. Ball goes back inside to the middle to Garcia.
Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it.
Comes back over to Baldo Gomez. And now Garcia once again will send it out to Rabadon. Rabadon works up the sideline. He has Groza and Eder on his left, tries to send a ball up ahead, but Melgar there to intercept the pass and going over to Hill. Back to Biddlecombe, who will switch the field over to Melgar.
A.J. Moyes doing a good job there of opening up some help for Melgar.
We see this Tigers team extending, putting a little pressure on that back line for the Thunder and on Biddlecombe as well. Hill into the middle. Ball goes through. Sapikiotis not able to make a run and get that one there. Instead, it's sent out of play by Baldo Gomez. Thrown in quickly to Stafford Dowling. Dowling goes back to Martins. Now back over to Hill around midfield. Plenty of time. No one coming out to mark him here, and now he'll pass back over to Melgar as Rabadon gave chase. Punched up through the center to Moyes. Good through ball, but cut off by Garcia. Garcia passes up ahead, and it'll be Urena here who will get the ball and try to send a pass through, but once again, Melgar there to stop it. Martins into Groza. Groza out into the near corner to Moyes, who goes back inside. Ball gets through and goes to Eder. Eder sends it over to Martins, and now Sapikiotis at the top of the box. Wanted to send a pass over to Dowling, but that one spun out of his way, and it'll now be sent up high all the way up to Javier Saldana.
Good defending there by Melgar out of the back. Wheaton's got to be careful not to get caught up too much, especially when they're playing so offensively like they are right now. To get pulled too far up the field, then you're opening yourself up to through balls if you're playing flat across the back. Something Wheaton did against Kenyon there, which led to 2 costly goals.
Passed over to Dowling. Dowling now streaking up the sideline with D'Argento on his right. Some nice move, dancing past his defender and unleashes a shot. And Haas is there able to control it after a bobble. Groza almost able to get in and take another shot off that one as Haas couldn't hold on to it after the first shot.
Yeah, you'll see Haas here makes the mistake of dropping down first to his knees. He misread the ball. Gets lucky there that Groza wasn't able to finish that shot there.
Groza now controls it right around midfield. Goes back to Melgar. You can see Bonilla was making it tough for Groza to come down with that one, but he did.
It's good by Biddlecombe there to try to find the outlet, realizing he had some space there on the outside with Hill. Good ball all the way into Will Woodfin. Not able to get the touch, though, as goalkeeper Haas comes all the way out.
Quickly send it into Rabadon. Over to Carlos Mateo Moreno, and then over to Bonilla. Melgar takes away from Bonilla and then sent one up ahead. Probably intended for Sapikiotis there. Moyes knocks that one out of play.
It's a good step there by Melgar earlier, but he's got to be careful. If he doesn't get that, the rest of the team needs to recognize that he's stepping and move accordingly, because they were caught in the back flat there. If Melgar doesn't make that, that's a big problem for Wheaton.
Woodfin made a nice play on the ball to send it up to Sapikiotis. It'll go back into Joey as he looks to send it into Groza. Nice touch pass there. See if he can get to it before the sideline, and Rabadon has to slide that one down, so we'll see another corner kick for the Thunder.
I like the passing combinations that Wheaton's using right now in the final third. There's been a couple give and goes up the right side, both involving Sapikiotis there and both leading to corner kicks.
Looks like it'll once again be Groza to take this one, and Justin, as you mentioned before, you're looking for the Thunder to get some shots off in this one. Have you been satisfied with the way that they've come out in this one so far?
I think they've shown a lot of potential here. They've gotten those couple shots. I mean, it's just opportunities like that you can't miss. You can't let the ball bounce through the box. You've got to find a way to get it on. And I know Wheaton's got the talent there to be able to redirect something towards the frame. But I think so far, the offensive, play's been good. Like you mentioned, there's been good passing combinations. I do want to see them be less one-sided and be a little bit more multifaceted with their approach. You can't just simply go up the wing. I want to see passing combinations down the middle. And if that doesn't work, just working the ball through the middle. I think they can keep a little bit more possession in the middle.
Haas's goal kick goes short. Woodfin sends it back towards the goal, and Haas will track it down before it gets outside the 18.
I think one of the best ways to wear a team down is to keep possession in that final third. too. It just wears out that defense as they constantly have to shadow you. You may not get the opportunity you want, but it opens up after a while. You just got to be patient.
D'Argento coming down with that ball, and then it comes in taken away by Bonilla. Bonilla working all the way across the field, going over here to Arroyo. Arroyo sends it into the center, and now working up the field. Couple players ahead of him. Fires off a shot that goes wide right, and that was Mateo Moreno there.
You know, it may have not led to anything, but you'll see here on the replay, Wheaton had 2 defenders pulled up. You see Justin Hill tracking to get back, and our other 2 defenders are caught there on the top of the box completely flat, Melgar and A.J. Moyes. And I think Wheaton lucks out that that wasn't a more dangerous chance there for Iowa.
Biddlecombe punts this one over to Martins, and now back to Hill. Trying to work it through the middle to Eder, and here comes Mateo Moreno again. Fires off another shot, and this one again off to the right. So 2 shots, same story here for Carlos Mateo Moreno. 33 minutes and a half to go in this first half here. We've seen about 12 minutes gone, and score still 0-0 despite some good chances for the Thunder early. Hill over to Biddlecombe, and now over to Melgar in this near corner. Ball comes over to Moyes, and he's just not able to handle that pass. Rabadon will throw in. Comes back to Garcia. Garcia wants to send this ball inside. Biddlecombe comes a little ways off his line, but then the Iowa player not able to make a play on that ball. Out over on the side to Carlos Mateo Moreno, who will send a cross inside. That one soars all the way through to the other side of the box where Urena will take it. Nice job by Dowling there as he takes it away. He's streaking up that sideline. Passes into D'Argento, and now it'll go back to Dowling. Dowling tracking that one down just before the end line, and it's taken away, though, by Baldo Gomez. Eder in the middle, passes over to Groza. Groza trying to work around Bonilla, but Bonilla with the physical play, and then it's Groza that's called with the foul.
I think Wheaton needs to play with a little bit more urgency right now. I think they're letting Iowa Wesleyan dictate the speed of play at the moment and letting them take the game to them. I think Wheaton needs to set the standard for this game, and that involves playing to the level that they're capable of playing to, which I just haven't seen them do yet. Don't take the chances you're given, create chances.
D'Argento works at the top of the 18 and sends a shot in that just skips along the ground, and Haas is there to easily cover that one up.
And like I said earlier, Abram, it's about taking shots, but it's not just about taking shots. It's about taking good shots there. So I think though that was an opportunity for a shot, you could have opened up a better one, perhaps like this one right here.
Here's Sapikiotis tracking it down. Poked away. A nice job by Garcia to stop that offensive chance. It will stay with the Thunder, a throw in deep in the corner. Sapikiotis goes into Woodfin. Sends it right back, and now Rabadon comes over to make the interception. Rabadon over to Mateo Moreno. Sent up the middle, taken away by Melgar. Melgar goes over to Dowling. Dowling working a couple yards off the 18. Passes over to Groza. Groza winds up. Wanted to pass just a short little tip pass inside to Sapikiotis, but wasn't able to connect, and then ball goes off out of play as Carlos Mateo Moreno wasn't able to get a foot on that one. Moyes goes into Sapikiotis, wants to send him down towards the end line. Tried to flick it up over the head of his defender, who boxes him out there all the way off the end line, and it'll be a goal kick here for the Tigers.
I think winning a 50-50 ball here would be a good indicator of Wheaton's just intensity level. So I think that's something to watch here. The next little bit, you see Will Woodfin getting into a little bit of a scrap there on the sideline. I think Coach Clute likes that intensity here. Long ball played forward, dealt with by Melgar, brought down by Edders. Edders with 3 men around him loses the ball, and this could be a dangerous opportunity here for Iowa Wesleyan.
Javier Saldana over to Carlos Mateo Moreno, who fires off a one bouncer that Biddlecombe covers up nicely.
I think that comes from communication right there. Edders gets tripled right there. He's got to know that he has an outlet. His defenders need to help him out there.
Bonilla almost able to cut that one off, but Eder doing a nice job to stay strong and stick with the ball here. Woodfin out on the right side, marked by Ramadan. Woodfin using some skill, trying to dance his way past, but it's taken away. Ramadan with a couple now great defensive plays as he works his way past Woodfin. Goes up ahead and wanted to go to Carlos Mateo Moreno, but ball gets through. Referee says that the ball will stay with the Tigers. Mateo Moreno sends it all the way to the other side of the field where Martins will be the one with the first touch, going back to Hill. And now we see a dangerous play and a goal here by Javier Saldana as he stepped in and took away the pass from Hill to Biddlecombe and sent it to the left side of the back of the net.
I don't think this needs to be explained too much. When you have a high ball like that, you got to make a good decision. You either got to get a good touch or you got to clear it. And obviously there, Hill with a less than satisfactory touch back to Biddlecombe. You just can't go back to your goalkeeper there with no time. And if you're going to go back to your goalkeeper, it better be there. I think that's just an easy mistake that Wheaton just can't afford to make.
Tiger goal, his first of the year, for number 15, Francisco Javier Saldana. Saldana for the Tigers.
And so it is 1-0 now. If you're just joining us here inside Joe Bean Stadium, the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers take the 1-0 lead over the Wheaton College Thunder here in just about the 15th minute of this one.
Although Wheaton's down 1-0, I think this could kind of be the wake-up call that they need. They have not been playing Wheaton College soccer here in the past 15 minutes. So these next 5 minutes will be a good indicator of whether or not Wheaton wants to dictate this game or not. Let's see if they win the 50-50s. Let's see how they work down the field.
Ramadan takes that one away. Sent over across the middle to Mateo Moreno. Melgar cuts it off and goes over to Martins. Martin sends this one up to Sapikiotis. Sapikiotis trying to get there. He heads this one past the goalkeeper and he evens it up here.
That's the kind of response you want in the next 5 minutes. If your team goes down making a mistake, you want to see them keep their heads up, and work for that next opportunity. And this could be offsides. We'll see right here. It's not offsides. Sapikiotis just there with the cute little header over the goalkeeper. And Haas is there coming way too far off his line. If you're going to come off your line as a goalkeeper there, you better get to the ball first. You better get a touch on that. Not able to get the touch on, 1-1.
And just about 30 seconds after Iowa Wesleyan takes the lead, the Thunder even it right back up, and now they're looking to attack again with Woodfin. Woodfin taken down hard about the 26-yard mark, and this will be a free kick. We also see an Iowa Wesleyan player down. But Justin, you're exactly right. You saw that the Thunder, after throwing this ball in on their side, didn't want to play around any more than they had to. Martin sent that one all the way up to Sapikiotis, who was able to climb the ladder and tip that one over the outstretched arms of Hasis.
And good recognition there that the back line was completely flat and spread out. That's not what you want when you're playing defensively there, is just to leave those openings for a fast player like Sapikiotis, who's goal hungry, to get in behind you. Especially when your goalkeeper's pulling up that high too. It's just an easy little touch and it's a goal. But that's exactly what Wheaton wanted, to come out strong, to keep their head high and not hang it after going down off of a mistake. But now they have a free kick in a favorable position
first
here.
of the year for number 9, Joey Sopikiotis. Sopikiotis to goal, the assist number 5, Michael Martins. Sopikiotis from Martins.
We see a couple of Thunder players standing over the ball. It looks like Woodfin will be the one there along with Martins. Say they're about 28 yards off here. Woodfin sends a shot in, and that one just sneaks back past the left side.
Into the game
past
for
that
Iowa
bar.
Wesleyan, number 19, Sebastian Sosa, and number
Close
24,
chance for the
Julio
Thunder, but
Olmedo.
Hasis looked like he had it covered up pretty well.
Yeah, Woodfin there with the right idea. You just want to get that little bit of dip just to get it up and over the wall. I think he got a little bit too much on top of that ball and spun it just slightly wide of the left post there. But close opportunity. I like the shot there from Woodfin. It's the right idea.
Goal kick from Hasis, won by Eder, and now goes over to the other side, looking to work up the middle, but taken away by the Thunder. Martins will send it back to Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe now working with a little bit of skill there in front of the net. Goes over to Martins once again, but he's not able to handle that pass, and it goes off the sideline. Ball chipped up inside. Moyes able to head it away. Olmedo, who just checked into the game there, was the one vying for that ball, along with Moyes. With about 25 minutes and 52 seconds, we see a couple of substitutions here for Iowa Wesleyan. Number 24, Julio Olmedo, comes into the game, and number 19, Sebastian Sosa, as well. Two playing up high here for the Tigers.
And on the Wheaton sideline, we hear Coach Jake DeClute saying way too casual to the Thunder backline, and that's something that I had just mentioned a bit earlier. I think that they were casual here in the first 20 minutes of this game, but I think in the next 25 they have an opportunity here to put another one in and show the Ohio Wesleyan Tigers that, or the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers, that they're not playing casual, that they're here, that they're on their home turf, and that they're dictating this play. Good pressure there by Woodfin to win the corner, or to win the throw in there for Wheaton.
Moyes goes in short to Groza, who comes right back to him. Tried to pass that one inside, but Garcia able to clear it out. Now chipped up ahead to Olmedo. And now we see this ball sent up high into the center. Over to the other side. Worked past the Thunder line, and now we hear a whistle as there was a injury over here on the near side, standing close to the Thunder bench.
Yeah, there's a collision between Ryan Melgar and another player on the way back. I think Ryan took a shoulder there to either the nose or the eye, and as he's getting checked out by the trainers there, you hear a little bit of protests here from the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers, as they had pretty favorable field position. They'll still get the ball back, obviously, but just want to make sure that Melgar's okay.
And 24 minutes and 42 seconds left on the clock now, and like you said before, Justin, the Thunder and the Tigers both looking to surely add another one here in this game. We saw back in the Ohio Wesleyan game, for the Thunder, they were scoreless after the first half, and then just weren't able to put another one on the board throughout the game, and they got shut out 2-0. So getting one on the board here, important for the Thunder, but you certainly want to break that tie before you head into halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more there, and I think, you know, you have to choose the way you want the flow of the game to go early on. If you play casual the entire game, then, you know, if you start out the game casual, you're going to play the whole game casual. I think you have to set the precedent there right off the bat in the beginning, you know, and get the rest of the team on board there. I think that starts with people like Will Woodfin and Peter Whalen as captains. I like the intensity Will's been showing, but you got to communicate. You got to find a way to get that to the rest of the team, you know, and it starts in each position. You know, it's going to take one player stepping up and saying, hey, look, you know, we're here to play tonight. We're not here, you know, just to walk through the motions. And it can be hard on Tuesday night games, especially your first game of the week here. But I think we'll see it through the intensity. You see A.J. Moyes there rushing back, you know, and getting that out for the throw. And I like that intensity right there.
Number 20, Rafael Moreno Perea. For Wheaton, number 17, Peter Whalen. And number 24, Silas Galvao.
You see the beautiful sunset there over Joe Bean Stadium here as we close out the night and the lights turn on here in Joe Bean Stadium. Rabadon sends this one over to the middle, and now Whalen, who just checked in, will be the one to get the first touch here for the Thunder. Coming back over to the middle. It's now Dowling who's working on that far side. He's not able to bring it down, and Eder tries to get in there as well, but the Tigers will retain possession. Working back into the middle through Morena Perea, who just checked in. He's number 20 there in the center of the field. Working over to the far side, and now coming once again, that was Bonilla, who passes up ahead to Olmedo. And not able to connect there with his teammate as Eder takes that one away. Moyes now going back to Dunlop, who was the injury substitute for Ryan Melgar. Biddlecombe here sends this one away out towards the center line. Tapped up ahead by Groza. Over to Whalen. Whalen loses his balance but keeps the ball, passes over to the other side to Galvao. Galvao looking to work past his defender, shoots that shot, and it's blocked by Rabadon. Galvao will stick with it. Working towards the end line, Rabadon making a nice play. Rabadon with the control goes over to Olmedo, who comes to Bonilla in the center.
Good defense there by Rabadon. Also to try to connect here.
Ball gets through to Dowling, but then it's taken away there by Mateo Moreno. Mateo Moreno working against Eder, works back in towards the middle. Wanted to pass it over to Olmedo, but Moyes there able to intercept that pass. Now we see a through ball sent all the way up ahead to Galvao. Galvao will track it down with Garcia in front of him, and he sends a pass, but it deflects off of Garcia out of play. It'll be a throw in deep into Tiger territory for the Thunder.
That was a good ball by Garoza there to open up that opportunity. Moyes with the ball now, placing it across, high and right at goalkeeper. Trevor Hasis, but Trevor Hasis lets that go over the bar.
Hasis has had his fair share of work in this one, not so much for Biddlecombe, same for the one goal that we saw earlier by the Tigers. Hasis puts this one down on the ground and kicks this one away. Groza works over towards Dowling, back in the middle towards Bonilla, and now Mariano Morena. Passed over to this near side to Moreno Perea, who goes over to Carlos Mateo Moreno. Michael Martins does a nice job there of trying to keep possession of that ball, but it looks like referee says it went off of him.
Wesley, number 28, Xavier Lozada. Also for Wheaton, number 10, Jacob Kapitaniak.
So we see Lozada enter for the Tigers, number 28, and then Kapitaniak for the Thunder, number 10. He'll replace Michael Groza, the freshman.
I think Kapitaniak's the perfect player to bring in when you want some extra energy. He definitely brings it from a vocal and a physical perspective to the team.
Nice job there by Galvao to stop that cross inside to the box, but it will be a corner kick for the Tigers. 20 minutes and about a half to go in this first half.
Dangerous chance here for the Tigers, especially if Wheaton doesn't win the 50-50 balls. They haven't been doing a fantastic job here in the first 25 minutes of the game, but I think that this is the perfect time to turn that around here.
Ball went to the near post, tried to flick up, but now Biddlecombe there able to do a nice job to handle that one.
I think the good news is both teams aren't really taking their chances in the box, just letting it bounce around here. But Wheaton now with a fast opportunity. Spikiotis with the ball, takes a big touch, gets a little bit lucky there as it bounces over, but ultimately loses the ball here to Rabadon.
Rabadon goes over to Olmedo. Olmedo up to Bonilla. Moyes takes it away from Bonilla into Peter Whalen in the center of the field. This pass goes over to Eder and all the way back to Justin Hill, who will pass it back to Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe goes into Eder. We've seen a lot of play through him today so far. Whalen checked in a couple minutes ago, wanted to send a ball up ahead to Galvao, but he had stopped there. A little miscommunication stops that Thunder chance. And Hasis will take his time here as he waits to pick this one up and punt it away. This one goes sailing well past midfield. Martin's the only one in the area. Spikiotis takes a touch and brings this one down over to Galvao, and now we hear a whistle and the ball will go back to the Tigers.
Yeah, late offsides call. Spikiotis was hanging out behind the back line, then came back to make a play on that initial header. So because of his interaction with the play there, the referee raises the offsides flag, and that'll be a Tigers kick here.
18 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first half. Garcia sends this one right up towards the 18. Justin Hill winning that ball. Up over the center, Whalen not able to get ahead on it. And now Olmedo sends it over to Galvao. Galvao wants to push this one up ahead to Spikiotis, who will stop his run as Hasis will easily get there first.
I like when Wheaton plays those through balls, but you got to pick and choose. When is the right opportunity to use that, and when do we need to just hold possession and build? And I think right there they should have just looked for the pass. Good fight there between Headers and number 24 for the Tigers, Julio Olmedo. And that'll be a Wheaton kick here. So Olmedo stands in front of the ball there.
You saw them both get a couple handfuls of jersey there, and in the end it's Olmedo that's called for the foul. Eder, a nice pass over to Dunlop. Now Dunlop works his way up, taking advantage of the space given to him. Wanted to send a ball up ahead to Galvao, but That through ball just had a little too much pace on it.
In the game for Wheaton, number 2,
easily sails over the end line.
Number 37, Ben Ferraro.
Yeah, and those are those opportunities there where it's like, do I hold on to the ball a little bit longer? Do I find an outlet, or do I go for the through ball? I think Sean Dunlop should have been looking outside for his outlet. He had a couple players there along the side. A.J. Moyes included. I believe Galvao there made the run, but also an opportunity to lay it off to Whelan here in the middle.
We see Mr. Wingate and Ben Ferraro enter the game for Michael Martins and Joey Sipikiotis, the lone goal scorer for the Thunder tonight, as Stafford Dowling tries to work past Garcia. Garcia sends that one out, and the spin is fortuitous for the Thunder, as that one looked like it was surely heading off the sideline, but instead takes a couple bounces, just barely clears the flag over there in the corner, so it'll be a corner kick for the Thunder. Kapitaniuk looks to be the one to take it. We'll see if the Thunder can get something out of this one after nothing out of the past two. This one goes far post. Whelan trying to get up in the air, and then looks like that was a header off of a Thunder player, and then maybe off the arm of Whelan.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Spencer Dowling went up and won that header, but off of Whelan's arm there, unfortunately. I think that was on frame.
Kapitaniuk playing physical in the center against Perea. Ball over to Rabadon. Rabadon works his way past Galvao easily and now has Ordeno in front of him. Passed up ahead. Looks like he wanted to get it all the way up to Sosa, but...
Into the game for the Tigers, number 18, Fabio Gouveia Silva.
See another substitution here for the Tigers. It will be number 18. That's Fabio Gouveia Silva. And he will replace Bonilla, who's been very active in the center of the field for the Tigers. Rabadon against Kapitaniuk. Galvao there, and now we hear a whistle as Rabadon goes down. Free kick here for the Tigers with 15 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first half. Coming up on the 30th minute here, the Wheaton College Thunder and the Iowa Wesleyan University Tigers still tied 1-1. Deadlocked here after an early goal by the Tigers and then a quick answer from the Thunder. Neither able to break the tie yet so far in this half.
You'll see this ball played in probably right smack dab into the middle. He's probably aiming right around the PK spot.
It's Morena Perea sending that one in. Flicked up by Garcia, and Biddlecombe able to take it down with a couple players on the ground. He wants to get it out quickly to Stafford Dowling.
Got to be careful not to outrun all of your help here.
Back to Kapitaniuk.
Smart play there by Dowling to cut into the middle. Good little move there by Kapitaniuk to open up some space. Unable to find that through ball back to Dowling, though. Right idea there to look for the through ball, but you got to play it with a little less pace and a little bit more outside.
Morena Perea comes over to Urena, and then you'll go back to him on that far side. Urena now back to the inside, and Morena Perea sends this one up ahead. And the offside flag goes up there as Julio Olmedo wanted to make a run, but looked like he knew that he was offside there.
Right idea there by the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers, but right call there by the referee there. Number 24 there, Olmedo just left a little bit early, able to get himself a little bit of space, but Thunder line playing dangerously flat there in the back, which opened up the opportunity in the first place, so they got to be careful. You either are playing an offsides trap or you're just playing standard defense, and as long as you know which one is which, that's good, but I don't think the Thunder was intentionally playing an offsides trap by any means, so it's got to take a collective communication there. A good little bit of dribbling by Wingate. We've seen him score from this area before. A good little bit of pass through to Peter Whalen, who is able to put that into the back of the net.
And such an easy finish for a player of Peter Whalen's caliber, getting that one right around the 6-yard box and just easily able to shoot it to the right side of the net past Hassas there.
And Wingate able to do the work that passing normally would achieve. Good little bit of strength there to just get it to Whalen, who's cool under pressure, and just slots that into the bottom right corner. You see goalkeeper Trevor Hassas there contesting for maybe an offsides call there, but Whalen able to time his run well, cutting across the box, wide open. Thunder 2, Ohio Wesleyan 1. Or Iowa Wesleyan 1.
The Thunder goal, his second of the year for number 17, Peter Whalen. Whalen the goal, the assist to number 2, Mr. Wingate. Whalen from Wingate.
And we see these two players who both just recently checked into the game, two seniors, come in and lift the spirits of the Thunder here to break the tie right before halftime with about 13 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Wingate once again racing in, flicks it over to Whalen, who goes over, and it'll end up all the way back towards the center line with Dunlop now over to Hill. Ferraro over on the outside getting some of his first touches. Wants to pass inside to Wingate, but Wingate lets it through, and that's taken away by Urena. Moreno Perea wanted to go inside. Moyes able to head that one away and gives Biddlecombe just enough time there over to control that ball. We've seen a couple balls played up ahead to Olmedo where he's not quite able to get there. Good defense from the Thunder preventing him that time. Kapitanic. His pass is just a little behind Galvao there. See a substitution.
Tigers, number 5, Ewan Rideau.
Ewan Rideau comes in, number 5. He will replace number 7, Urena. It'll be Tiger ball. Coming from the throw-in here, Rabadon will be the one. Moreno Perea sends it into the middle. And Eder does a nice job to hustle back over and get it to his back line. Olmedo once again active there, trying to take the ball away, but Eder able to stay cool under pressure. Eder now goes into Whalen in the middle, who takes a big touch all the way back to Hill. Hill a little header up towards Eder.
You got to know when to play the ball away there. And the Thunder not playing the ball away there, now caught under pressure here.
Moreno Perea wants to cross it inside, and actually that's a shot that goes to the right side of that far post, excuse me.
You see here on the replay, the Thunder playing the ball around there, just unfortunately giving away possession in a dangerous spot. You know, if you're not able to dictate the flow of your own passing, then the best thing to do is play a long ball up and get your composure.
Biddlecombe sets it down and goes short to Hill here as we come up on 11 minutes. Over to Dunlop. Now Dunlop with space will go back to Hill, and we see Olmedo, who's been up there all game long, kind of sink back a little bit.
I do admire the Thunder's, dedication to trying to keep the passing play going. Good little bit of a fight there by Dowling as he retains possession still, playing a ball all the way forward that looks like will connect with A.J. Moyes.
Moyes racing to chase it down, and it's Garcia who sends that one off the end line. Another corner kick for the Thunder.
Good there by Moyes just to recognize that that was being tracked and then just to win the corner kick there.
See Kapitanic just go short to Ferraro this time. Ferraro sends it across, but it's knocked away by Rabadon, so it'll go back to the same corner. This time Kapitanic will go back. Doesn't look like he'll have help from Ferraro to go short, so he'll probably send this one into the box for a chance for the Thunder. Kapitanic goes near post here, and no one from the Thunder able to get it. As now a shot by Peter Whalen goes well left and outside that
Thunder corner kick.
Far corner. Clock is now down below 10 minutes, and it'll be another corner kick for the Thunder, just switching over to the other side.
Good chance there for Whalen, but very tight, congested area there in the box. Still able to win the corner kick, though. Good opportunity. Good shot in the circumstances. Another opportunity here for the Thunder as Kapituniak lines up. They're going to be trying to play this one either all the way to the back post for a header back to the middle or just put it right here in the front post. But it looks like they'll go all the way back, and they'll whistle that as a foul against the Thunder as goalkeeper Trevor Haas falls down. But I like that idea there. You catch the goalkeeper out, you catch the other team out because they shift their entire team towards that back line to cover that initial, what they believe is a shot. And then Wheaton slots that back into the middle, looking for that easy touch in. Almost executed well.
Haas, kick one by Wingate, able to climb all the way up and win that over 2 Iowa Wesleyan players. And now a little aerial collision there between Whalen and Baldo Gomez. Rabadon taking control around the center line. Goes through the legs of Galvao over to Rideau. Now back over on this side to Lozada. Lozada tries to pass inside. Cut down by Govea Silva. Goes all the way Over and now back into the middle to Moreno Perea.
There's a lot of space here for Iowa Wesleyan if they recognize in the back post, and they do, switching that all the way out to the outside.
Moyes there to defend Rabadon. He also has Olmedo on his right. Rabadon working in, tries to cross it, and a nice job by Justin Hill to clear that ball out. It'll be a throw in for the Thunder, but Biddlecombe started his dive there as that ball looked like if it got past Hill could have easily been tapped in.
Yeah, absolutely, that was a dangerous opportunity and good recognition by Iowa Wesleyan to switch that ball all the way.
This one sent up inside to the box again. Dunlop the one to knock that one down and now pass it up ahead to Kapitanic. Soaring in is Moreno Perea, who wins that ball and now looks to pass inside to Ordena. Now Baldo Gomez, a shot fended off by Biddlecombe. It'll now roll off the end line for a corner kick, but a nice play by Biddlecombe there.
Yeah, routine save for Biddlecombe there. It looked like a good shot, but he was able to see it all the way. But that's not the kind of shot you want your goalkeeper to have to, or not the kind of save you want your goalkeeper having to make as her routine. You know, for Biddlecombe there, as such a talented goalkeeper, you know, I don't think that ever had the, you know, chance of scoring with such good visibility on that shot. But that came from, you know, just a defensive mistake. Again, you can't make those there in the box.
Now, looked like it was Biddlecombe who was able to get a hand on it first and punch that one away. We'll remain on the ground for a second. Here's the ball. Looks like it'll go back to the Thunder. We heard a whistle, and sure enough, the ball will come back for a goal kick here. Clock still running, and we'll tick below 7 minutes as the Thunder still in the lead 2-1 over the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers after breaking the tie just a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I like a little bit more what I'm seeing offensively from the Thunder, just when they're actually able to get it up into that final third. But defensively, they have a lot that they need to clean up, and I think a lot that they need to change communication-wise. One of those good opportunities there a little bit ago coming from, you know, a switch from Iowa Wesleyan. If you're one of the outside backs here like Moyes or, you know, number 37, Ben Ferrara, you got to communicate with your players that you need help back there. It was a 3v1 with Moyes.
No. Ferraro there, the one that's trying to work the ball away from Iowa Wesleyan, but whistled there, and it'll be a goal kick taken by Hasses. If you're Iowa Wesleyan, certainly want to try after a couple of good chances here to tie the score up once again before halftime. See if they adjust their play to be a little more aggressive in the last 5 minutes. Wingate getting the first touch here, and we haven't seen Hasses be able to connect with a lot of his own players here off of these goal kicks. Whalen passes off, but just knocked down by Rabadon, and now Rabadon comes back out with it. Rabadon streaking ahead with Olmedo on his left, works back inside to the middle, tries to pass it off. Instead it goes back to Baldo Gomez, and now there's a whistle, and the referee signals that it will indeed go back to the Thunder.
That was a good double there by the two midfielders to just win possession back. Number 23 for Iowa Wesleyan, Jamie Rabadon, he's been doing good all night, you know, defensively and offensively. I think he's been taking it to the Thunder a lot, and I think they recognize now that doubling's an effective option. He's been looking to cut into the inside and string passes up offensively all night long. And he's been playing a lot like our right and left back do. Like A.J. Moyes getting up high a lot. Another mistake there by the Thunder leads to, you know, opportunity for Iowa Wesleyan, which is quickly snuffed out by Justin Hill. Justin Hill looking forward to Wingate. Wingate using his speed to get all the way there. Not able to get that second touch, but that's out for a Thunder corner kick.
Thunder corner kick.
We see Wingate there, like you said, just able to use that speed to work his way past the defender, and then once he got there, the defender had no choice but to send that one off the end line rather than risk a cross inside to the box.
Can't see this on the screen right now, but Biddlecombe holding the back of his head there just a little bit from that previous play. Curious to see what Jake DeClute will do after this half. Good ball in. Defended well by Iowa Wesleyan. That ball put back into the middle by Edders twice now, all the way out to Whalen. Whalen on the top of the box looking to play out, but unable to find that pass there. As Dunlop there uses his strength to just win the ball back. Good touch to Whalen. Whalen with an opportunity. Deflection. Good save by Trevor Hasses there as it takes a deflection off of one of his defenders there in the middle. That's just reaction right there. The referee issues a yellow card to number 5 of Iowa Wesleyan Tigers, and that's Ian Rideau.
Iowa Wesleyan's number 5, Ewan Rideau, has been cautioned.
I didn't really see what happened there, Abram. Could have been something he said to the ref or whatnot. The referee having a little bit of a conversation with the goalkeeper.
Like you said before, and we saw on the replay, the shot inside looked like Haasas was set up easily to make the save, and then it deflected off one of his own players, and he kind of had to reach out with that left arm and just knock it down. A nice save by him.
Good combination between Leyland and Ferraro. Ferraro stringing that ball all the way up to Dowling. Dowling an opportunity. Great shot. Deflected over the bar by Trevor Haasas. Dangerous opportunity.
Number 19, Wes Bavard. Thunder, corner kick.
Good ball there by Ferraro. Spencer Dowling taking a good touch right at goalkeeper Trevor Haasas. You got to hold there. You can't let that tip over the bar. Lucky for that not to have deflected into the top of the goal. You got to have strong hands as a goalkeeper there, you know. And if you're giving a deflection, you got to know where it's going. It looked like it surprised him almost that it deflected over the bar.
Kapitanic, far post, Bavard, who just entered. Now Dunlop wanted to get a leg up and take a shot there, but it's past the left post.
It's good connection, just not able to put that on frame.
Carlos Franco.
Number 16, Juan Carlos Franco, entering for the Tigers with 2.5 to go. So we've seen some dangerous chances here for the Thunder and for the Tigers within these last 5 minutes. And like we said, it seems like the intensity's been brought up a couple notches here as Iowa Wesleyan really trying to work to even this one up, and the Thunder wanted to eke out another goal before halftime.
For those of you just joining us as well, this has been a pretty two-sided game so far, with the Thunder just edging out the Tigers 2-1 right now. Been seeing good offensive pressure from both sides, and I think the intensity is picking up. I think it's something we'll see amped up even more after the halftime when both coaches are able to talk with their team and get some tactics down here. But both teams vying for that next goal, the goal that'll kind of write how the rest of this game's going to go. And the Thunder with a throw-in in Tiger territory, but second ball on the field. Referee calls back that throw in there.
It'll be Wingate to want to throw it in. He looked like he wanted to target Whalen the first time. Now he will go inside to Dowling. Dowling with a couple Iowa defenders there. Wingate crosses it in, wanted to get it to Kapitanic, but it's cleared away. Ball brought back down and now sent towards the middle of the field. Eder working. Ball batted back inside to the box, but then cleared out to midfield. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go, as looked like Iowa Wesleyan wanted to get the ball up to Olmedo. Not able to, and the ball will roll out of play.
1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
Wingate now works past the defender. Keeps the ball as it ricochets off. And now Dowling working all by his lonesome. Winds up and fires, but Haasas able to make a save there, and that ball just stayed on the ground throughout that shot. Never got any air underneath it, and Haasas just has to move to his left side and go down for that save.
Yeah, that's just a composure thing, and I think that comes from experience and being in that position in this kind of a game before. Dowling, as the freshman, not a lot of experience in 1v1 situations yet, but you have time there. You just got to take a deep breath, take that ball in a little bit farther, get that goalkeeper to get out of his set position there, and then you have an easy opportunity into the side of the net. I think we have players on our team who are great at that, like Whalen, for example.
10
seconds here remaining.
8, 7, 6.
But good
5,
opportunity.
4,
Sad that Wheaton can't
3,
put another one in. I think
2,
that could have changed the tide of things going into this
0.
next half.
And so as the half ends, the Wheaton College Thunder lead 2-1 over the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers here at Joe Bean Stadium. We want to thank you for joining us throughout the first half here on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. We'll be back after halftime for the culmination of this one, but for now the Thunder lead 2-1 over the Tigers. We'll see you after half.
Every day, as students attend chapel, meet friends for lunch, or raise their hands in class, they encounter the Wheaton Fund at work, ensuring the excellence of their Wheaton College experience.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, Wheaton students receive a Christ-centered liberal arts education, led by world-class faculty, preparing them for a variety of kingdom vocations.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, all Wheaton students can grow in their faith through chapel, small groups, and real-world ministry experiences.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students can participate in a more holistic Wheaton experience through extracurricular activities such as clubs, athletics, student government, and more.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students get to live, learn, and play in world-class facilities. Everything from light bulbs illuminating late-night study sessions to lab equipment fueling discovery in Myers Science Center. It is made possible by the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, the total excellence of a Wheaton education is made affordable for all of our students. And that's only possible when family, friends, parents, alumni give generously to the Wheaton Fund. Because of you, lives are being transformed each and every day on this campus. People that will lead society and serve the church in the next generation. Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of you.
Christ at the Core is changing the way that we teach and learn on campus. It's the beginning of a 4-year journey, a pilgrimage, and study of the liberal arts in a Christian community.
The first time I heard about the Core Seminar was in my spring connection of my senior year. So what really stood out to me was what they said that went along the lines of, in order to know your career, you first have to know your identity. And that completely blew my mind because all the other schools talked about how I could excel in this subject and grow in this career field, but no one asked me who I was. Through the seminar and through my professor, Dr. Keith Johnson, I've learned that being a student is a vocation, it is a calling. The Lord has placed me here and my classmates here for a reason.
The first year seminar is really built around introducing what we mean by Christian liberal arts, and that is not just to study that, but to actually do it. As we read texts, think about great ideas, refine our writing, make arguments, listen respectfully to students that differ from one another.
So homework wasn't a chore. I engaged deeply with the readings because I wanted to come to class with an insight to share and ready to learn from the students around me. It was an exciting opportunity, and I felt valued as an individual with the things that I could share with the classroom as well as learn.
The Christ at the Core and Advanced Integrative Curriculum is important for our students because it gives them an unparalleled opportunity for critical inquiry and to understand how their academic engagement informs their faith and also how their faith informs their academic engagement.
It's really cool to be in a class that is just combining two very different disciplines, being taught by two different professors, Dr. Townsend just in the Department of Natural Sciences, and then Dr. Barwigan in Christian Formation and Ministry Department, but then seeing how they interact so beautifully in class and how they really just build on what each other are saying.
Students are getting expert knowledge in two very disparate disciplines, and that they're now having to learn how to integrate this. Right. So it teaches them from a liberal arts perspective how to not only take kind of these silos of content and learn it, memorize it for a test, but to see that everything that they're learning contributes to one another.
One of the best things that I've experienced is team teaching and actually having a chance to learn from you.
No, absolutely, that's true. I remember when we had this moment where we were teaching Ursula Le Guin, and I thought this is perfect because we've got a literary scholar and a political philosophy person together, and a man and a woman dealing with issues related to gender. And I thought this is such a great experience for the students to be able to hear us working that out, talking that together.
So one of the outcomes in the first year seminar is to learn how to articulate the gospel. And so we, as a seminar, gathered and went to the basement of the Billy Graham Center and went to the pulpit there and began to practice proclaiming the gospel to each other. it was fun to do it together, to hear each other as we were learning better how to communicate the truth of Jesus Christ.
Part of the seminar experience is that we really build a community over the semester that we are together.
One of my favorite memories from core class was actually not during class, but one night when Dr. Lauber, my core professor, had us over to his house for dinner.
And community really built around that. Having food, having coffee, and having our textbooks in front of us.
This was a really impactful experience because as a freshman first semester, it was so nice to have a night where I could spend time in a home with a family eating dinner. Dr. Lauber really showed that he first cared about us as people and then as students, which made my core experience even more impactful and started off my freshman year really well.
And ultimately, this is what it's about: an education for life, a preparation for a life of service, because Christ truly is at the core of what we're doing here.
I think a lot of today tries to emphasize how much you need to be the individual and how much you need to kind of have your plan set out for you as soon as you reach the end of high school. Vanguard just kind of popped out of nowhere, and the idea of a gap year, spending it in the woods, and I felt like I just needed to take some time away from the kind of rigorous academic world just to kind of recenter myself. I feel like this is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, was to take a gap year.
For me, going right to college was really kind of a scary thought because I didn't know what I wanted to major in, what I wanted to do. So taking a gap year was a really good chance for me to just grow and mature a little more before going to college.
Once a month we would have professors from Wheaton come up and run a seminar, and those were exploring big questions of faith or big questions that millennials face.
Also, just the Vanguard community itself is really tight, and we became kind of like a family.
I'm very thankful for these people who are willing to push me, but just care for me so deeply, and definitely I think something unique to this place, to Honey Rock, and to Vanguard as a program.
Basically the whole year was one immersion trip, being here in the Northwoods and interacting with the local community here. Another was going to the Dominican Republic.
It was learning and delving deeper into my faith, but without grades and without this pressure that I've always felt to perform. And I think having the opportunity to learn in such an intimate setting has influenced me in a really positive way.
I think what Vanguard does is it helps you to really discover your true potential and help you to kind of define your own calling.
It's a year of your life, yeah, and you might think, oh, this will set me behind all my friends, but it won't. At this stage in life, you're still so young, and there's still so much time to explore the world and to see what you want to study, and you'll have your 4 years of college, but you don't need to rush into that.
The person I am now compared to the person at the beginning is different in a lot of ways, but probably one of the most important ways would just be less anxiety about the future and more of just present-mindedness and openness to what God is doing and what His plan is from here.
Yeah, I definitely think, looking back on it, taking a gap year and doing Vanguard was the best decision of my life.
Hello, my name is Rob Ribby and I'm director here at Honey Rock, and I'm excited to talk to you about Advance Camp.
Advanced Camp is one of the most unique and powerful programs at Honey Rock, and it is at a critical time for young people between junior high and high school, and helping to equip and prepare them to manage that significant transition. It's a 3-week program that has a wilderness trip, some significant in-camp experiences around our activity areas and Bible studies, and then thirdly has a significant service component. The whole goal of the program is to prepare them and help them understand who they are and how they can stand for Christ and live in healthy and whole ways as they enter the significant years of high school. I think it is one of the best investments you can make at this important time in their lives. We hope to see you next summer. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside Joe Bean Stadium here on the campus of Wheaton College, where you're joining us for coverage on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network of tonight's matchup between the Wheaton Thunder and the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers. I'm Abram Erickson alongside my partner Justin Majeski, and we've played one half here to a score of 2-1, the Thunder leading the Tigers. The Thunder looking to break this 2-game losing streak and break their .500 record of 2-2, and the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers looking to get their first win of the season as they currently sit at 0-3. And Justin, we saw the Tigers score first in this one, open it up about 15 minutes into the game, and then the Thunder even it up just about 30 seconds later with a goal from Joey Sapikiotis. And then we saw a little later on the Thunder break the tie, and that's where we're at right now with this 2-1 score.
Yeah, I think if I had to sum up the half, Abram, I was left wanting more, from not just Wheaton, but from, the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers as well. I think both teams have an opportunity to make a statement coming out of this half. And I think both teams just need to clean up the things that they've been messing up. Wheaton with a couple of key defensive mistakes leading to, a goal and then a possible, a bunch of other possibilities for the Tigers. And the Tigers just, not looking like they're completely meshed together as one solid unit. I think one of the biggest things I want to see from Wheaton, whether excluded from the whole shots on target thing that we talked about at the beginning of the game, is I want to just see a more cohesive team unit as far as shape goes, because I think that will contribute into their ability to keep possession in the final third and also throughout the middle, and just, limit those defensive mistakes when you have easy outlets to go to. So shape is the big thing that I want from Wheaton, because I think that'll lead towards the other things I've been looking for. And then for the, Iowa Wesleyan Tigers, I think they just have to connect from the back all the way to the front, because they're looking pretty solid as far as offense goes. They're putting a lot of pressure on, but it's pretty, like I said earlier with Wheaton, it's just down that one side, and just kind of spearheaded by Rabadon. I believe that's the left side of the field. So I want to see them work it, down both sides from the back and even up the middle, and just look more like the team that, they're showing signs of being.
Quickly, Rabadon going back, and now Sapikiotis giving Hassas a little pressure early in this one. Martin's coming up, and Groza making chase after that ball. Worked into the center, a nice touch from Sapikiotis trying to go over to Whalen. Not quite able to make contact as the ball comes out to Mariano Mateo Moreno. Hill tries to keep this one in play. Martin's able to corral it right on the sideline. Ball sent up in the middle. Melgar there able to take that away, and that's one good thing to see here from the Thunder. Ryan Melgar stepped out. About 15 minutes to go in the first half with a little bit of a collision there. We saw him not return after the first half, but he's back on the field here to start the second half, so certainly a promising thing for the Thunder.
I think another thing to note is they have Sean Dunlop playing back in the middle right now with Ryan Melgar playing in the position we've seen Edders starting at right now. So we'll see if that key tactical change made by Coach DeClue leads towards anything. Ryan Melgar is definitely a player with a lot of vision. I think given, a high confidence level, if he can find that confidence, he really does know how to produce for the Thunder. A little bit of a missed pass there out of the back. That'll lead towards an opportunity here up the right side.
Arroyo goes over to Mateo Moreno, and now headed up into the air by Javier Saldana. Brought out to Moreno once again. Saldana, the lone goal scorer for the Tigers. That ball sent over to the far side. Able to track it down before it hits the end line, but A.J. Moyes there to recover that ball. Groza working in towards the middle, goes to Whalen. Whalen now passes up ahead to Groza, and Arroyo makes a nice play on that ball to tap it back to his teammate. Bonilla working against Melgar and Groza, and now that one's chipped up by Chambers. Over to Javier Saldana. Bonilla using his body to keep the ball away from Wingate.
I feel like defensively I want to see Wheaton get a little bit more compact here in the middle. They look like they're just chasing right now.
Arroyo gets past two defenders. Flicked up by Javier Saldana up to Bonilla, and now not able to make anything of that. That one sails over the net. It'll be a goal kick here for the Thunder, and we, like you mentioned before, Justin, see a little different unit starting this second half. We've got Hill, Martins, Wingate, Melgar, Dunlop, Whalen, Groza, as well as DiArgento, Moyes, Sapikiotis, and Woodfin.
I like the addition of Whalen and Wingate right off the bat. Those are the two who linked up for the second goal. I think both offer, a lot of drive and experience here that the Thunder needs, to be able to, rejuvenate and rekindle, any kind of drive in a game. Especially when you started out the game slow. To try to pick that pace back up can be difficult without that experience.
Sapikiotis makes a good play on the ball. Now Will Woodfin, comes out. That ball ricochets a couple of times. Rabadon able to come away with it, and we saw a couple bodies go down right around the 18.
Honestly surprised the Thunder didn't get a call there as number 25, I believe that was, or number 12. One of the center defenders, was just bodying Will off with their arm. A little bit of twisting and turning there by Wingate, trying to open up some space. Goes back to Martins. Martins looks to swing that back, but a poor pass leads to a possible opportunity here.
Mariano Mateo Moreno working, winds up for a shot.
Great save.
Good save by Biddlecombe, and now Melgar will look to clear it off the sideline, and Mateo Moreno with his head in his hands thought he should have had that one, but a great save by Biddlecombe.
It's nice to have a goalkeeper who can bail you out of mistakes like this. Haston Biddlecombe there, keeping his ground there, keeping the angle cut off. Just staying low there in a good set position, able to make what was a very difficult save look like a routine save.
Wingate gets ahead on that ball and clears it out of the box. Bonilla will tap it back to Chambers. Chambers back over the middle to Arroyo, and now Moreno Perea.
And that's good there. Wheaton was compact, and that's why they were able to win that ball back. They were able to double fast. Woodfin winning that ball back, but now number 14, Michael Groza, just losing possession there.
Hasis will send this one up towards the middle, and Melgar getting the first touch, and we see Dunlop go down, but Moyes will tap it back to Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe now sends this one away, trying to get it up to Groza, but Moreno Perea there first. Sent into Mariano there, but we see the offside flag go up. So Mateo Moreno not able to make the play on that one, but he doesn't look happy with that call there. Melgar now to start for the Thunder. Back to Hill. Now over to Dunlop. Dunlop back to Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe sends that one away.
And that's good. That's good recognition by Biddlecombe that they're under pressure there, and you just got to get it out so you can get composure. Luckily able to find one all the way across. Hill under pressure here. Finds an outlet. Martins with the ball. Martins looking to go all the way forward to Spikiotis. Spikiotis looking like he'll win the foot race here.
Chases it down. Tries to spin and work over his back shoulder. Doesn't quite get a hold on it, but Wingate now with the ball. Goes trying to split two defenders. recovers possession and now works towards the end line. Wants to cross it into Wheaton, and Haas just dives in front there, able to cut off that ball.
A little bit of skill by Wingate just to, make up for that. A little bit of Kreif turn there behind, tries to swing that in, just not enough, able to generate enough power, and goalkeeper Trevor Haas winning back. Now Rabadab with the ball, dribbling down the middle, lots of space, nobody contesting him.
He'll go out to the far side.
Mateo Moreno looks to play that ball in, easily dealt with by Dunlop.
Now it'll be back over to the middle, and Moreno Perea, the one there to bring it back to Garcia. He'll pass up ahead to Rabadon. Rabadon has Moyes in front of him as well as Woodfin, but the pass that wanted to go inside the box was to no avail there. Garcia will just send that one flying into the box, and Biddlecombe able to bring it down easily. Up towards Martins. Martins has Wingate in front of him, passes to Sapikiotis. Takes a little bit too big of a touch there and allows Bonilla to take control. Garcia, Groza comes in to disrupt that pass and does a nice job. Now Martins slowing it down. Takes a little more time to get the pass off to Wingate. Nice turn by Wingate. Working on the sideline, goes back into the middle to Melgar. Melgar working his way past Bonilla. Whalen coming to take the ball away from Javier Saldana. Dunlop wanted to send this one through and up ahead to Wingate, but he won't be able to track it down, as we've seen a couple passes now from Sean Dunlop just have a little too much on them as they've rolled just off the sideline.
Yeah, the vision good, just the execution not there. I'm okay with players taking those chances, especially though, if they do pay off. I'd like to see Dunlop try to connect one of those. I think it'd do well for him.
Well, here, and it was Groza that went down. We'll see a free kick for the Thunder with 37 minutes and 10 seconds to go in this game. Score still 2-1. Both teams had a couple chances early, especially Iowa Wesleyan on that ball that was nicely saved by Haston Biddlecombe.
Good opportunity here as well, though, Abram, as Groza looks to put this ball in towards the back of the box.
We see Whalen as well as Woodfin with Sapikiotis and Wingate over on that far side. Both try to begin their run, but whistle sounds just as Groza makes contact. Referee comes over to have a discussion, it looks like, with Mateo Moreno. Continuing to talk as they walk away, with Moreno shaking his head and finally giving the referee a thumbs up. So Groza will get another chance here. We'll see. We saw him go to the far side, and he'll do the same thing again. Tries to get it up to Whalen. Instead, Sapikiotis there in the back getting a foot on it. Wanted
into the game for the
some
Tigers,
type of
number
call there
28,
for
Xavier
contact.
Lozada. For Wheaton, number 24, Silas Galvao. And number 37, Ben Ferraro.
Galvao and Ferraro enter for the Thunder. For the Tigers, it's Lozada with 36.5 to go. Martins will step off the field, and so will Woodfin. Haas has set this one down on the ground and will kick it away. Galvao, the first one to get ahead on it, and he sends it up to Sapikiotis, who's making a run. Rabadon able to send that one away, and we'll see if he can track it down before it gets the sideline. He does. Nice job by Rabadon, and now he's the one streaking up the sideline. Cut off by Moyes. Nice defensive play inside. Ricochets around a couple of times, and now Moyes goes back, but Javier Saldana is there to pass it up to head to Rabadon. Rabadon back into the middle to Carlos Mateo Moreno. He winds up for a shot, and it'll sail high over the crossbar, as that shot was from certainly past 30 yards. Sails just a couple feet over the crossbar. Biddlecombe doesn't have to contest that one.
Yeah, difficult shot there to put on frame, let alone score, and especially against a goalkeeper of Biddlecombe's caliber. Wheaton lining up for the short corner, plays out wide to Hill. Hill with time. Opts to play down the sideline. Wingate with the ball here. Tries to thread it through Whalen, but ball contested. Now Whalen on the run. He's trying to use his speed, cuts inside. Good little ball there to the middle. Wingate back two. Foul in the box, and that'll be a PK.
Wingate does a great job weaving his way through defenders, works inside, and You can just see it here as he goes to his right. We see a player go down. Ball comes over to Sapikiotis, and then Wingate just bowled over as he heads into the box. He'll certainly have a chance at a PK here. We do have a Iowa Wesleyan player down, so with 34 minutes and 59 seconds, the Thunder with a great chance here to extend their lead to 3-1. As we've seen so far in this half, just in the about 10 minutes that have gone by, both teams ended the half with a lot of intensity. We saw some aggressiveness from both teams, as we mentioned before. Iowa Wesleyan when wanting the equalizer, and Wheaton wanted to pull ahead even more. Neither team was able to do that at the end of the half, but as they come out here into the second half, I feel like we've seen a little bit kind of of both sides. We've seen moments for both teams where they've been aggressive, they've been intense, but a little bit of time where they've slowed it down too. Not fully on the attack, and it makes sense as they're not trying to beat the clock here, and there's still plenty of time left for both teams with 35 minutes to go in this one, but we'll be interested to see what the strategy of both teams is as they look to the Thunder, again, try to extend their lead. Iowa Wesleyan wants to tie it up here, and we'll see what they do in these last 35 minutes or so.
I think it's difficult, too, when you're going into a game where you know the other team has a losing record and it's not a conference game and you've come off of a couple losses and it's a Tuesday. There's a lot of things that you can look at and say, those are all reasons why we're not going to come out and we're going to play our best game. They're banking on an easy win. But, at the same time, I think that's a dangerous mentality to take because you're getting score lines like we have right now, 2-1. That's not what the Thunder expected, I can tell you that. And it's not also, the score line that it should be. If the Thunder's playing their game, the score line looks very different. They have more goals. They have, less of these mistakes and opportunities for the Tigers happening in the back. But I think nevertheless, Wheaton's, lax attitude coming into this game has made it one that's been contested on both sides. Like you just said, each team's been taking their turns on the attack and on the defense. And I think Wingate has a good opportunity here to kind of put the nail in the coffin and really, write the next 35 minutes of this half. We'll see here after this PK as senior Mr. Wingate lines up against the senior goalkeeper Trevor Haasas. And Wingate did the work to get this PK. Let's see if he can finish it right here with a little bit of a stutter step, and good save there by senior goalkeeper Trevor Haasas.
And Haasas is fired up after that save. We see it here. Wingate, a little bit of a stutter step there. Now just with the left hand able to reach up and parry that one away.
And Haasas doing a good job there of not trying to guess and just holding his line there, waiting for Wingate to make the mistake there. Unfortunately, Wingate not able to, commit the goalkeeper to diving one way or the other.
Sent far post. Wingate once again sends that one up, and the goalie.
Now looks like that'll be a yellow card there for Ryan Melgar as he just, bends over there on the corner kick. You'll see he bends over as goalkeeper Trevor Haasas comes up. Just kind of swipes his legs out from under him.
26, Ryan Melgar has been cautioned.
So 2 chances there for the Thunder and nothing to come away with after the penalty kick and the corner kick. Haasas sends this one up to Ferraro.
Another thing too, coming off of your goalkeeper making such a vital save like that one can give your team a little spark of energy here too. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if the Tigers start taking it to the Thunder here in the next couple minutes.
Garcia working against Groza. Passes over to Moreno Perea, and now Rabadon goes past Galval. Sends it up the sideline. Carlos Mateo Moreno.
Side. Sorry there, Abram.
Over to Moyes. But Javier Silva lets that one go out of bounds.
I think that's good recognition by Mateo Moreno. There's space on the opposite side of the field. But you got to play a better ball than that. You can't just look to thread through the ground. Lozada there wide open on the opposite side. If you play a lob through ball there, you have an opportunity straight in on goal. Number 7 here for Iowa Wesleyan, Alicia Urena coming back in, the captain for the Tigers.
Rabadon keeps that one in bounds, goes to his teammate there, and now it's over to Bonilla. Into the middle to Urena almost immediately. Urena able to control and maintain possession. Over to Bonilla. He wants to cross it inside. Biddlecombe able to come out, easily cut that one off. It'll come over to Ferraro.
Dangerous ball back by Ferraro. Didn't give Hill much of anything, but Hill making the most of it up to Whalen. Whalen playing to Wingate. Wingate not able to get that, but one back by Ferraro, who takes that ball down the sideline. Tripped up there in a battle for the ball. That ball goes out before the foul is committed, so Wheaton Thunder ball here as Ferraro goes to
the
pick
game
it
for
up.
Wheaton, number 15, Dylan Etter, and number 29, Stafford Dowling.
2 new substitutions for the Thunder. Ryan Melgar steps out. Ball goes back to Hill as Ferraro the one to throw in here.
We see Etters and Dowling come back in just like the way the Thunder started this game, giving both Wingate and Melgar a break.
Groza passes over ahead to Dowling.
Good overlap there by Ferraro into the middle. Dowling decides to take as Ferraro cuts to the outside, well defended by the Tigers. Dowling remains with the ball here.
Dowling works across this near side, goes down, and now we've got a foul called. Ball will be brought back, and it'll be a free kick for the Thunder.
And Dowling there with no outlets decides to just hold. He did a good job of keeping that there. Thunder's got to do some better work, though, to open up opportunities for him to find. He had his head up. He was looking for the shot. The shot was shut down, but he had no easy outlets there. So instead of going back, he had to carry. Good little bit of individual skill there. And draws the free kick here in a favorable position. From this angle, though, I believe the Thunder's going to be looking for a cross towards the back post as opposed to a shot here, but we have a couple players standing over the ball here.
Groza will be the one to take it, and looks like he did want to go over to that far side and sails well over that far corner.
Wheaton College Athletics with offices in Wheaton and
So
Chicago.
another favorable position for the Thunder results in nothing here as the clock ticks down to about 30 minutes to go in this one.
How hourly financial planning can help you.
Coming into the 60th minute here in this game.
You know, those are those kind of chances that you got to at least make them dangerous, you know. You may not score them, but make the Tigers have to work there. In a situation like that, you shouldn't be putting that over the fence.
Groza works against Bonilla in the middle, and now he certainly holds up Whalen there. You saw him just stick out his arm and almost grab Peter Whalen around the waist. Any sense of breeze has died down tonight, making this just a real humid, sticky one in Joe Bean Stadium. Temperature hovering around 80. Over to the far side, it'll go back to Biddlecombe.
Thunder just have to play faster in the back there. There's not enough urgency.
Moyes holding onto it there, wanting to throw in. He has Galvao in front of him. But instead he wants to go all the way up to Whalen. Another foul, this one against Bonilla once again.
Whalen doing a good job of just holding that ball up, waiting for the rest of his teammates to get in. Long ball played all the way back to goalkeeper Hasis, who easily deals with that, and then he calls for his team to push up here. Decides to punt that ball downfield, right towards Justin Hill. Good header back to goalkeeper Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe with time, just holding his hand out, trying to find a throw.
That was a big punt by Hasis. We've seen the Thunder play a couple teams where the goalkeeper have put them in a good position each time as they've punted that one down. Hasis not necessarily doing that one a lot today, but we see on that punt his ability to send it well into the Thunder defensive side.
Into the game for Iowa Wesleyan, number 16, Juan Carlos
That
Rico,
was
number 19,
another wasted
Sebastian
opportunity
Sosa,
there on
number
that last
24,
play for the
Julio
Thunder.
Olmedo.
You know, Sapikiotis there just holding his finger up. I believe that he wanted the switch there all the way over to Galvao, because Spencer Dowling had, the time to find that, but just instead tries to find Sapikiotis on his heels and not able to connect on the end of that through ball. Rolls out for a goal kick. Those are the kind of opportunities that I'm talking about. You got to have the urgency, but you also have to have the execution there offensively, and I just haven't seen it here as much as I've wanted to in the second half. PK is another good example of that. You got to score those. That's a golden opportunity to get your team up another goal. But instead, Wheaton still remains on the top of this right now, 2-1 with 27 minutes remaining in the second half.
Dowling got the first touch on that one. Another foul as we see a little bit more chippiness starting to break out in this one. Eder will tap that one ahead and leave it to Groza. He'll go all the way across to the other side of the field to Dunlop. Dunlop goes into Sapikiotis, who wanted to touch it ahead to Groza. Didn't quite get the angle he wanted. Back to Ferraro. Ferraro trying to decide whether to go back or push forward. He opts to go back to Dunlop. Dunlop over to Moyes. Moyes up ahead to Galval, and we see Galval's touch came up into his own hand there. So that'll be whistled and given over to the Tigers. Rabadon, the one to take the free kick here. Rabadon's been a name we've called a lot for Iowa Wesleyan here, disrupting a lot on that far side here in the second half and over here on the near sideline during the first half.
Yeah, Rabadon's been doing a good job on both fronts for his team this game. I don't have a lot of negative things to say about him by any means. He's been, outplaying a lot of his marks. So all the credit to him there.
And now we see Whalen wanting to send it up ahead to Sapikiotis. Sapikiotis approaching Hasis, but he won't get there quite in time. But the ball comes out right to Stafford Dowling. Dowling will go over to Ferraro. Ferraro wanting to set up with plenty of space. Crosses it in, but it's deflected. A nice job by Urena to get in front of that ball. Ball goes into Sapikiotis. Not quite able to make that turn, and now he sets up for a shot, and this one sails wide right. Didn't quite able to turn around and set his body on that shot and sends that one sailing.
Just like you said, Abram, there, good opportunity, just, facing away from the goal. It's hard to turn your hips and generate enough power to get that towards the back post. So you see him turning his hips there and getting the power, but just not the placement there as it sails wide of the right post. Out for another goal kick.
Ball goes all the way past midfield over to Olmedo, but the Thunder quickly regain possession as the ball goes up ahead to Groza. Groza working past his defender, tripped up and loses the ball. And now it goes back over to Iowa Wesleyan, but Groza comes soaring in from out of nowhere to get the ball back to Moyes. Galval, now he's over to Olmedo. Passes up ahead and looked like he wanted to intend that pass for Juan Carlos Franco, but just a little too far. Biddlecombe able to swallow it up easily. He'll set this one down and go out to Moyes, who's got plenty of space, wide open over on the far side. Shot up ahead to Sapikiotis. Sapikiotis wanted to make a play on it, but again, couldn't quite get there. We've seen Sapikiotis use his speed to make some plays similar to that one, but that time just a little too far out front.
Not a bad idea there by Moyes. I think that's one of those kind of balls that, you take your chances and you try to play it, and very nearly connecting that, just a little bit too much pace. And I think that's been the theme, a little bit too much pace on a lot of these passes tonight. Thunder win a corner kick here.
Anything in for Wheaton, number 18, Alessandro D'Argento. Thunder, corner kick.
D'Argento coming to check in. We'll see who he replaces. But the Thunder will have a corner kick. Groza looks to be the one to stand over in the corner, as Peter Whalen will be the one that's substituted out for the Thunder. Groza sends it low to Sapikiotis. Sapikiotis not quite able to get the right touch on it he wanted. Goes back out to Eder. Eder over to Groza. Groza tries to work past his defender, but a nice play by Rabadon once again to make the tackle and win control of the ball. Rabadon passes it past Galval. Olmedo trying to work there, and he goes down and loses control of the ball over to Hill. Hill back to Biddlecombe. who goes to the middle to Edders. Eder back to Hill, and Hill back to Biddlecombe. Dunlop here with Carlos Franco making a play on him. Ball flicked back to Ferraro. DiArgento wanted the ball on a pass. There is sent into the middle, hard off DiArgento's chest. DiArgento wins this one back, and now we see Iowa Wesleyan player Sebastian Sosa kind of go down on top of the ball there, and he will receive the caution.
Yeah, when you get fouled like that, or you fall down, you can't just grab the ball, before you hear the whistle there. So, cautioned there for the handball.
Eder.
Maybe even impeding play as well. Eder's with the ball, like you said, Abram.
He's standing over here. We'll just go short to Hill.
22 minutes remaining here in the second half. Scoreline still 2-1. Ferraro playing up here to Groza, who tries to win the foul there. A little bit of a battle there between Ferraro and the Tigers. That ball looks like it'll make it all the way back to Biddlecombe here, who scoops that up on the top of his box.
It was Juan Carlos Franco who was making a run at that one, and some physical play from Garcia, who sent that ball up. Now it's Chambers marking against Dowling. Dowling trying to turn the corner, wants to cross it in, and he does, and a great shot by DiArgento to put that in the upper 90. The top left corner extending the Thunder lead from 2-1 to 3-1 here.
And this time, instead of the seniors, it's the freshmen linking up to take charge. See Spencer Dowling just cuts to the outside there, leaving his defender in the dust. Good little bit of ball on the ground there, chipped up and over, outstretched goalkeeper Haas there. And that's going to be Thunder goal, now 3-1, with 21 minutes remaining here on the clock in the second half.
Into the game for Wheaton, number 2, Misker Wingate, number 19, West Bavard.
Wingate and Bavard check in. Wingate will replace Sapikiotis, and Bavard will take the spot of Justin Hill. So the Thunder now with a 2-goal lead with just a little over 20 minutes to go in this one, and we'll see if that changes Iowa Wesleyan's approach, as they're now down for the most they've been all game.
Ferraro on the sideline now with the throw-in. Looking forward to go past Misker all the way up to Dowling. Ball bounces in the middle. Good little bit of skill here by DiArgento to open up space for himself. Plays out wide.
Over to Galvao, and Galvao will go over to Moyes. Moyes sends a cross. Dowling keeps it in play, and no one there to pick up that flick, but a nice athletic play by Stafford Dowling to keep that ball from going off the end line.
You see that ball goes just a little bit far, but good little bit of play there by Dowling to try to keep that ball in. Just not enough power on the flick there. Puts that right into the hands of Haas, who's just waiting for that ball back through the middle. It's a good idea, though, by Dowling to try to keep that ball in. Good bit of defense there on the outside by Silas.
And now Moyes will throw in after ball deflects off of Olmedo. Moyes waiting for someone to open up here that he can throw into. He's motioning to DiArgento, but instead goes long. Rabadon sends back to Haas. Sent all the way back. Bavard will get the first touch, and Eder now able to bring it down after DiArgento makes contact. Groza, a nice job to work ahead to Dowling. Dowling not able to keep the ball with him. Ball comes over to this near side to Chambers. Chambers pass up ahead to Lozada.
That there looked like a handball by Ferraro, but Thunder getting away with no call there. Well, this is an issue because the Thunder didn't push their midfielders back, but Good little bit of play there by Edders to win the ball back, and looks like that's going to be a free kick for the Thunder there. It's number 37, Ferraro, falls down there off the foul.
Yeah, it looked like Ferraro made a little bit of contact with Lozada. Eder will go over to Dunlop.
And transition is one of those things that'll be dangerous for Wheaton here too. You saw they had all those guys pulled up there for, you know, their offensive, you know, pursuit of the ball. And they have 4 or 5 guys pushed up into the middle of the field. You got to work your butt to get back, you know. You can't just leave the middle of the field open there. And Wheaton not showing any urgency there, getting bailed out by Edders in the middle, making the key stop.
Garcia clears that ball out towards midfield. Ferraro able to come down with it. Ferraro passes up ahead to Moyes, but Rabadon cuts it off. And now Rabadon has plenty of space as he's streaking up the sideline. Moyes trying to recover. Comes up ahead and finally catches up with Rabadon in that far corner of the 18. He'll go back out to Olmedo. Olmedo wants to send it into the middle. Looks like he wanted to go to Juan Carlos Franco, but not able to put enough on that ball to connect the pass.
I think it's also working to Wheaton's advantage that, you know, the Tigers aren't sending a lot of men forward. Good opportunity here, though, as Galvao streaks down the field. And that's a terrible foul. I'd be surprised if we don't see a card here, as Galvao gets his legs swiped from behind, and the referee will have a conversation there with the other team. I was just in shock there a little bit because I didn't expect that was such a late foul.
We'll see, but certainly a favorable position for the Thunder as that ball gets set down somewhere about 4 yards outside the box, looking at maybe a 22-yard distance to the goal. D'Argento will set it down. We'll see if he opts to go for the shot.
The referee here deciding not to issue a card. It's kind of surprising to me. That looked like a bad foul from up here, Abram.
And now he marches the wall back just a couple of, maybe 1 yard inside of the line. So D'Argento, let's see what he does here. Tries to curve that one around the outside of the wall, and he does, but doesn't make a dangerous shot, and so Haas is able to easily cover that one up. Wingate almost able to get possession of that ball, but instead it's Lozada. Lozada works over the middle to Arroyo, and Arroyo wants to send it all the way out to Rabadon. Let's see if Moyes can track it down beforehand, and he does, sending it off the sideline out of play.
Into the game for the Tigers, number 9, Mariano Mateo Moreno, and number 20, Rafael Moreno Perea.
So we see Moreno Perea enter as well as Mateo Moreno. 16 minutes and 8 seconds to go in this second half. 3-1, the Thunder still lead over the Tigers after the goal by Alessandro D'Argento just a couple of minutes ago. And now we hear some shouting as well as a whistle from that far side. It'll be a throw-in for the Tigers, I believe, as see actually looks like a free kick. We'll see what the Tigers opt to do with this chance. They line a couple of players up on the box.
I think they'll be looking to go right to the middle there, and they have that clump of players that are going to be looking to get towards that back post. That ball will just be curled right there around Galvao, right around that PK spot, and the ball does find its way there, bounces around. Tigers retain possession, looking to keep that ball back in. Takes a deflection off of Wingate's back, right to the hands of Biddlecombe here.
And tough to tell where that shot would have been as it was interrupted so quickly after it came off the foot of Moreno Perea, but Wingate able to make the save easy for Biddlecombe.
That ball nearly finding its way through off of an early jump by that Tigers center back.
Mariano Mateo Moreno works back to Urena and now over to Chambers. Chambers
into the game for Wheaton,
sends
number
that ball
4,
out of play.
Austin Pack.
Austin Pack checks in the game. He will go replace A.J. Moyes, and he's one we've seen replace Moyes towards the end of some of these games, supplying some great hustle over on that far side.
In for the Tigers, number 21, Jonathan Perez.
Substitution for the Tigers as well as Perez checks in for Chambers. Referee comes over to have a chat with Mariano Mateo Moreno. We'll wait for play to resume as Ferraro will be set to throw this one in on the near sideline. Goes over to Groza. Groza has Mateo Moreno on his back. Ferraro goes over to Eder. Eder passes out to Pack, and he'll get his first touch of the game on the sideline. Pack works his way back to Dunlop and all the way back to Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe over to Bavard. Bavard makes the choice and sends that one parallel over to Dunlop. Eder comes over to this near side, working with Ferraro. Ferraro sends it to the middle to Eder. Eder chips this one over to Galvao, and Galvao has Pack in front of him. Sends this ball inside the box, and Pack not able to make a run at it as Garcia clears it out. Galvao working to regain possession of that ball, but it's sent off of the sideline and out of play. We'll see
Anything for the
three
Tigers,
more
number
substitutes.
5, Ewan Redu. And number 18, Gavio Gouveia Silva. For Wheaton, number 26, Ryan Melgar.
Melgar will check back into the game for the Thunder. Fabio Gouveia Silva and Ewan Redu come in for the Tigers with 12 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this game.
Pack with the ball in the corner right now. Plays inside all the way towards Dowling. That ball will be cleared back out for another throw-in. Pack with the ball again.
And the Tigers still down 2 goals with 12 minutes to go.
Galvao with a good little bit of skill there to create space, but plays that all the way over the head of Wingate. Wingate able to stay there and keep the ball in. Almost gets the Meg there. Well defended by number 21, Jonathan Perez.
Now it's Ferraro on this side to throw it in. A good turn by Dowling, but he's whistled there as he looked like maybe to hook Moreno Perea. So with 11 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this one, we will see Moreno Perea get back up on his feet as he spent a little bit of time on the ground there. He will limp over to the sideline. Clock will stop, and we will probably see a substitution here for him.
Injury substitution for the Tigers is number 11, Carlos Mateo Moreno.
I think right now it's difficult for Wheaton to find any options offensively because of just how flat and, compact they're playing. They're not really creating a lot of space because they're so pulled in instead of, pushed out wide. And I think that has a lot to do, with just the wingers and, your outside backs on the far sides of the field. So if you have that ball down on the right side, you can't get too pulled in, whether you're Wingate or, Galvao, or even, as, the right and left back right now. So Pack and, Ferraro, they can't get sucked too far into the middle. Pack and Ferraro have an obligation to play defensively as well. So, they can pull into the middle and take care of those gaps. But you got to create some space wide. So if you're Wingate or Galvao, you got to time your run so that you're still there on the back post for crosses, such as that one that went over Wingate's head earlier. So a little bit of a tussle here, and it looks like that'll be a foul called for the Tigers here as Mateo Moreno over the ball.
We'll see. He'll wait for a couple of players to line up.
Expect to see a ball swung in towards the box, curving back towards Biddlecombe here, an in-swinger.
And any type of chance here, anything that would find the back of the net would put Iowa Wesleyan down only 1.
And that in-swinger there, right to Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe bobbles a little bit, but Cooley deals with that ball, looking for the throw, but none of his players looking. So just calms the pace down a little bit and rolls out towards Melgar. Melgar looking to Edders in the middle, who plays back. Melgar under some pressure there, but finds up to Galvao through the middle. That ball will be snuffed out there from Edders. Galvao doing a good job there trying to get back in, but just coming in a little bit late and unfortunately committing the foul there.
If you're the Thunder, the clock continues to run, and time certainly on your side. A 2-goal lead with 10 minutes to go, but that certainly doesn't mean just concede and run out the time. We've seen this Thunder team score a lot of goals late in games. Even when they're ahead, it's a great time to continue to be aggressive, and we'll see if that's what they do here. Whereas on the Iowa Wesleyan side, they're certainly looking to just send something up, and they do there as Mateo Moreno not quite able to get that one.
Corner kick.
You know, I think more so than winning or losing the game for the Thunder, the last 2 minutes, you know, just dictates what kind of a team they are. And I think it says a lot about, you know, your squad. If you take it to them, even though you're up by 2 goals and don't just sit back, that means a lot more. Dangerous ball played in, dealt well with Wingate all the way out for another corner kick. But as I was saying before, when you're up 3-1 in a game like this, it's easy to sit back, like you said, Abram. So I want to see the Thunder take it to them in these next 9 minutes of the game. And like you said, too, with the Iowa Wesleyan Tigers, they're just looking to get onto the scoreboard again because they only have that 1 goal. They have the 2-goal deficit. I've seen teams come back from more than the 2-goal deficit in 9 minutes. It's well possible. The Thunder answered in 30 seconds after the first goal. So
this ball sent far post and headed up in the air. It looks like Mateo Moreno was able to get ahead on that. I believe it was Mariano, and it sails over the crossbar. Ball goes over the middle. Galvao trying to get a foot on it. It'll be knocked out of bounds by Sebastian Sosa. Ball played up ahead, but Rabadon able to control it. See a cluster of players over on that far side, and then a whistle. Referee wants to stop the clock, and we'll see what he sorts out. He's talking to Galvao and issues Galvao the caution.
I think that's just because Galvao took that little bit of a
Wheaton's
touch
number
on the
24,
ball.
Silas Galvao, has been cautioned.
You know, that's just one of those cards that's easily prevented. You just got to be smart. Just leave the ball. There's no need to touch it there.
And now the throw-in comes back into Moreno Perea. Radu tries to pass ahead to Olmedo. Eder there, controlling for the Thunder, goes back to Melgar. He wants to send this one all the way up. We got 2 Thunder players chasing. Arroyo sends this one high up in the air. We'll see who can win this 50-50 ball. It comes down to the ground with no contact made, and DiArgento called for the foul there as he went up with Radu.
A lot of space all the way on the right side for Mateo Moreno if the Tigers can find him all the way out there.
Crosses this one inside. Nice job by Ferraro to cut off that pass, which looked like it was intended for Carlos Mateo Moreno. Ball comes out on this near side to Perez. Perez crosses the ball looking for Olmedo. Mateo Moreno controls it. Tries to make a turn, working towards that end line. Able to keep it in play, and Pack working diligently against him over there. Pack sends that one off the sideline, so it'll be a throw in deep towards the corner for the Tigers with 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go.
That's good defense there by Pack. Just to shadow his offensive player there instead of, making a mistake and stabbing. Sometimes it's just as simple as shadowing.
Eder send this one all the way up. Dowling just not quite able to corral that one before it rolls off. But he certainly had plenty of space in front of him. Were he able to get to that ball in time?
Whole slew of Thunder players lined up here on the substitution line. You see Will Woodfin, Joey Spicchiotis, Justin Hill, and Michael Martins here as substitutes.
Over to Pack. Pack sends this one up ahead to Dowling. Dowling chasing it down in the corner. He's got Wingate working his way inside the box as well. Passes up ahead to DiArgento. DiArgento back out to Dowling. And now we see a whistle. And Austin Pack fired a shot there. Referee came back to tell him that was just a little after the whistle, and now the ball will go back out to Haas. He'll set it down for a goal kick.
Haas is playing with urgency now. 6 minutes left in this game.
Melgar winning that ball. D'Argento able to send it over to Galvao, and now Wingate. He goes to Ferraro in the middle, who taps it back to Eder. Bavard goes in the middle to Eder. Back to Ferraro, and now we see a couple of Iowa Wesleyan players racing around. Flicked up to Mariano Mateo Moreno. He has
Good
Carlos
skill
Mateo
there.
Moreno on the right side. Eder back to Ferraro. Ferraro loses his balance a little bit. Almost gave that ball away to Mateo Moreno. But Bavard able to get there and send it back to Biddlecombe. Groza motioning for Wingate to make a run up ahead. He does, and he'll be able to track this one down. Works inside, goes back over the middle, makes his defender fall there, and it didn't result in anything there as his crossing pass was not met by any of his players. Groza sends this one up ahead, and there's the offside flag.
Offside.
We'll now see all 4 substitutes step in for the Thunder. Actually, no, as that ball did not go out of play. It will simply be a goal kick here. We'll still wait for those 4 to come into the game. Ferraro certainly using his hands on that one. Clock will stop, and now we see the referee continuing to talk to a couple of the players, maybe both Wingate as well as Carlos Mateo Moreno.
And the Mateo Moreno brothers there talking. I think they'll look to go short here.
Chips
Ball
it up.
inside.
Biddlecombe covers it up there as you saw Mariano wanted to get it up to Carlos on a run there. Now under 4.5 minutes to go.
And as this clock winds down, I have liked the passing combinations that I've seen from Wheaton. I think they've definitely upped their game here in the past couple minutes. Some bit of a, rejuvenated
Into the game for Wheaton, number 5,
bit
Michael
of
Martins.
energy. And
Number
we'll see
9,
those
Joey
substitutions
Sopakiewicz.
that you mentioned
Number 22,
earlier,
Will
Abram,
Woodfin.
finally
Number
come
23,
in.
Justin Hill.
It's Hill, Woodfin, Sapikiotis, and Martins coming in here. And Justin, with 3 minutes and 55 seconds to go, what do you think is coach's motivation in getting these 4 guys back in the game?
I think it's just give some fresh legs, help finish the game out. These are 4 experienced players who, have a place in this starting lineup in the regular rotation. So you take out a couple of these guys who have been working hard for the past 10, 20 minutes, give them that break and finish that game out with that 3-1 lead.
Ball goes up over the outside to Javier Saldana. Passed in the middle here, and ricochets a couple of times off of a couple different Iowa Wesleyan players. Melgar, the one able to finally get over and control it. Woodfin soaring ahead, trying to keep that ball in front, but it's sent out of play by a defender. Eder goes back to Hill, and Hill now just sends it up all the way, letting it roll to Hasis. With 3 minutes to go, he'll have time to punt this one away. Instead, opts to roll it. Perez passes up ahead to Carlos Mateo Moreno, who's not able to handle the pass. Perez comes and pokes the ball away from Eder. Back to Sapikiotis, and now Hill. Hill tripped up, and he will draw a foul there from Mariano Mateo Moreno. And here the referee comes over to give the caution.
Iowa Wesleyan's number 9, Mariano Mateo Moreno.
Pretty obvious foul, as you can see there in the replay. Hill just with the touch to the side, and a reckless challenge there on Mateo Moreno.
Clock will resume. D'Argento in the middle. Over to Melgar, who wants to send it up. Woodfin there, able to get a touch on it. Wanted to send it up towards Dowling, but Dowling not quite able to get there. Rabadon will throw it in. Rabadon to Olmedo. Olmedo not handling that pass as it goes over to Pack and then to Groza. Sapikiotis works past Mateo Moreno. Both of them, but it's Carlos who's able to come up with the ball here. Now Michael Martin soars in. Mateo Moreno with control now, taken away by Sapikiotis. And there's the whistle. Saw Mateo Moreno's arm work over the head of Sapikiotis, and now referee will blow the whistle, bring the ball back, which will bring some time off the clock here, which will only benefit the Thunder.
Yeah, it looks like the Thunder will escape this one with the lead despite, the play that we weren't looking for. It wasn't necessarily the Thunder's best game, but I feel like they made the most of it. You get the W. Now your score goes up to 3-2 on the season, and that's something that they needed there. They needed this win coming off of 2 losses in a row. I think that this will prepare them ultimately for their upcoming schedule, which is not one to be taken lightly, with Albion, UChicago, and Wash U as the 3 upcoming teams that they're playing all at home. But we'll see a good opportunity here as Wheaton remains onside, tries to cut inside here to find some options, but well defended there.
It's now Pack with the ball. Rabadon sends it off the sideline. 40 seconds to go. Clock stops with 42.2 as Thunder will have a throw in.
Iowa Wesleyan's number 0, Trevor Hassis, has been cautioned.
So we see the goalkeeper Hassis cautioned here, and plenty of yellow cards coming out in the waning minutes of this one.
Yeah, just it's frustration coming out here. Understandable too. We've all been in these positions before as, players. It's hard to, just finish out a game strong when you're on the road and you're already down by 2 goals with 30 seconds remaining. But you got to be smarter than that, especially as a senior. You can't just, get an easy yellow card for something you said or did. This ball dangerously played towards the middle. This could be an opportunity. Spencer Dowling in the middle, and that's a goal. 4-1 with 14 seconds remaining on this clock, and that's just an exclamation point on there in the end. Big mistake there by number 5, Ewan. Sorry, just blanking on his name here fast. Number 5, Ewan Rideau here, and we'll see here on the replay.
It certainly wasn't the pass he wanted, as you could tell as soon as it came off his foot that it was going to be dangerous. Dowling here, and we saw Dowling earlier in the game miss a chance over on the other side, and you attribute it maybe to just a little bit of nerves, Justin.
Dowling, that's his 3rd of the year.
Well, he did the right thing there. Keeps his composure, waits for goalkeeper to commit. Hassis there, just falling towards his left side. Easy goal there for Dowling to finish.
And so the clock will run out these last 14 seconds, and
9,
the Thunder, like you said, will escape. But
7,
instead of a 3-1 lead, it'll be a 4-1 win here for the Thunder.
2.
And I think that this game
0.
could have looked a lot different had the Thunder
Closing
not
the game, our final
taken
score,
some of their
Wheaton 4
chances,
and
or had
Iowa
the Tigers
1.
actually finish the
The Thunder
chances
will
that
be
they were
back at
given.
home on
We saw a couple
Friday
good
night
saves
when
by
Wheaton plays host to Albion
that I think
College.
definitely
That'll be a 7 o'clock
changed the
kickoff
scoreline
here at
here.
Joe
But
Bean Stadium.
4-1 is the kind of
Come
win
back
that you're
tomorrow
looking
night, the
for to
Wheaton
come back
women's soccer
from
team
after a
ranked 6th
difficult
in the
loss
country
against
will be in
Kenyon
action
College
here at
and
Joe Bean
Ohio
Stadium.
Wesleyan.
A
But like
6
I said
o'clock kickoff
earlier,
between
you have
the
3
Thunder
hard
and
games coming
Calvin
up.
College.
Last year against Albion, they suffered some pretty major injuries to some key players on the team. And it was a difficult game. I believe it was a tie in the end. Can't exactly remember the final scoreline, but UChicago and Wash U are 2 squads to be taken very seriously. The Thunder haven't been able to pull the win on those in the past couple years, but luckily this game is at home this year. Well, both of them actually. So, can they keep this unbeaten streak going, or are they going to fall in one of these next upcoming games? I'm really excited to see. I think it's going to take a much higher level of play than we saw tonight, but this is a start. Coming back from those 2 losses to the win. So I'm excited to see that. Was there anything, Abram, that you saw that you liked about the way that the Thunder squad played today?
Well, I think that probably the biggest thing for me was the way they quickly rebounded after that first goal, going down 1-0 after losing 2 straight, coming here and having Iowa Wesleyan come into their home field here at Joe Bean Stadium and score within the first 15 minutes. Certainly something that was a little unexpected and could have been demoralizing for the Thunder, but they quickly scored within the next 30 seconds or so, and I think you were right to say that set the tone for the rest of the game, and really just led them on a path to score 3 more unanswered goals and finish up with a score of 4-1 here. So their record will improve to 3-2, as you mentioned. Iowa Wesleyan falls to 0-4. Neither team have played a conference game yet. The Thunder still have 4 more to go. before they enter their conference schedule, which will begin on September 28th, away at Elmhurst at 7:30. We will see the Thunder next in action this Friday against Albion at 7 p.m. here at Joe Bean Stadium. For now, we want to thank you for joining us on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network. For Justin Majeski, I'm Abram Erickson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.